Now, relating to that phase, the imagination phase, we've had all these questions about how much do I need for retirement. So we're going to, and you might see your question on the front of the page at the moment. What we're going to do is trying to explain how much you need for retirement. Now, it's not a cookie cutter type response. It really depends on how much you need to live on. And how much you need to live on is very personal. Some people can live on a very small amount, others struggle to live on large figures. So it really gets down to what your cost of living is. You can work out your cost of living by a number of different assumptions or methods. One, you can look at your pre-retirement income, and you can potentially just take 65% of that. So say you had income of $100,000, you can just make the assumption that 65% of that is what you need in retirement. So earning $100,000, therefore I need $65,000 in retirement. Not a very accurate approach, but it's a method. Another way is basing it on other people's experience. So people you know who live a similar lifestyle to you, you might be able to use their experience and how much they need to live on as an example. Another one is to review your current expenses and look at how they might change as you move into retirement. So one thing that you might do to have one car instead of two, you might have less transport in terms of travelling to and from work, but you might have more holidays. You might not need work attire. So you can just look at how your expenses are going to change. This is one of probably the more accurate methods of working out your retirement income requirements. And then the final one is, if you all those fail, the next one is to look at what the research says. And now there's a regular survey by ASFA that works out what a modest retirement is, or modest lifestyle is in retirement, and what a comfortable lifestyle is. Now we'll talk about what that definition is in a minute, but if you look at what that is, what those figures are, a single person to live a modest retirement, the current figures are you need $23,000 per annum to live on. For a couple, it's $33,500, and to live a comfortable life, a comfortable retirement, you need $42,000 for a single, or just under $58,000 for a couple. Now, as I said, everybody has different needs and different requirements, so that's just the standard across the board study. Now, what does that actually mean? It means that for a modest retirement, it's really just better than the age pension. It's not much better than the age pension, so it's going to be a fairly basic living. Whereas a comfortable retirement means that you're able to get involved in a broad range of activities, recreational activities, a good standard of living, be able to purchase all those household goods, private health insurance, clothes and a range of electronic equipment, and the occasional overseas international holiday. I picked up a recent table, highlighted this in a little bit more in-your-face type way, and so I thought I'd just include this. I won't go through the whole thing, but it just gives you an idea of the difference between each of the factors that go into, or the differences between like a comfortable retirement, a modest retirement, and the age pension. So you might look at a comfortable retirement travel-wise, you might have one annual holiday in Australia. For a modest retirement, you might have one or two short breaks in Australia, but on the age pension you'll have even shorter breaks in your city or town. So it's just sort of bringing it home a little bit more. They've had a little bit of fun here with, comfortable retirement. You might afford a bottle of wine, afford a cask wine, or a homebrew beer. I know we're not necessarily all drinking type, but I guess it is a colloquial way of explaining the difference between each of those types of retirement living. You can look it through the others, and if you want to look at it in a little bit more detail, there'll be a recording of the session and slides available to you if you wanted to go through that in a little bit more detail. Just one point to highlight there is that the age pension is, if you get fully eligible for the age pension, then that is worth $22,000 for a single and $33,000 for a couple. That's what you get if you're fully eligible for the age pension. Just keep that in your back of your mind as you're working out how much you need in retirement to live on.